Well, Ira Einhorn got my attention recently because of Earth Day and all that stuff. Apparently, the New Age crew was distancing themselves from him because he was such an embarrassment after he killed his girlfriend. And so they say, well, no, he didn't start Earth Day. Well, it was Senator so-and-so who started Earth Day. Yeah, it was his pronouncement. But Ira Einhorn was running around with a lot of heavy hitters and charming them and being classic psychopath, which I think he said at some point was he was the sort that was needed for a transformational period, and the sort of psychopath that's needed at those stages in history or something. And they're very charming and good at getting close to people, and I'm sure he gave Senator What's-His-Name the idea. Well, anyway, I got a hold of his book, which is interestingly titled 78-187880. And apparently this is the call number for the Library of Congress for it. And he's either savvy enough to their system to be able to know where it would go, so he could put that title on it, or he had an inside track with somebody there who made sure it was given that call number. More likely the latter. So pointed out that the quality of writing and everything is really awful. It is. And something like the publisher, a big publisher like, what was it, Doubleday did this? Yeah, in 72, that they would normally tell somebody, hey, work on this some more, but not Einhorn. He gets to do whatever. Now, this thing is elements I recognize from Nietzsche, Gurdjieff, and Teilhard. Towards the end, he's pushing transhumanism. He talks about the information thing replacing the market economy, which is the idea you have pushing, with the internet now, which is really ridiculous, because information is about down-to-earth, real stuff, unless you're just talking about theoretical physics and stuff, and math and all. And the market has not, the economy has not changed. It just operates online now. So, I mean, it's just nonsense. One thing got my attention was he talks about this thing called a leptoid. Quote, the leptoid is that being who is able to live totally from essence, whatever that means. A realized being whose individuality is fully developed, unquote. And this is not supposed to be our goal. Quote, rather, each work on self, develop what we are, unquote. He talks about people developing what their real selves are, which is absolutely the last thing some people need to be doing. He doesn't like hierarchical systems, of course. Quote, synergistic, non-hierarchical. It means, of course, he can take over some system, something already exists more easily because there's no authority, therefore there's no accountability, there's no structure, no rules he has to deal with, nothing can limit him, he can mess with it. Okay, so this, quote, unlike the revolutionary concerned with power, or the est, oh yeah, he liked Werner Erhardt's stuff apparently, concerned with the personal development of self and others, the leptoid will work on those conditions which will allow post-economic man to use his newly developed personal potential within a structure of freedom that maximizes the potential of the species as a whole. And material need is a long forgotten problem. Psychological need is over. Beyond motivation, the leptoid, unquote. And it's transitioning between, there is a transition point, the gatekeeper center, between, quote, past struggles of materially, psychologically conditioned man and the cosmically oriented world of the galactic future. A gatekeeper with feet on earth, head in the stars, that sounds like Nietzsche, and consciousness able to explore realms that took notes here. The uninitiated are just beginning to imagine. And he rants on, quote, the leptoid's form is his own choosing, unquote. He calls this his nature's protein. So what the hell is a leptoid? Now, first off, it sounds to me like the leptoid's some kind of Superman. It's going to be running this synergistic network or whatnot, and everybody else got to work on themselves. The leptoid transcends even that. Some sort of elite Superman boss figure or class. So I went looking online for these things. I mean, the first thing I think was a giant rabbit. And the rabbit is in the Leporidae family, and the hare is genus Lepus. So that's why I was thinking leptoid is to the rabbit. The actual word leptoid refers to, quote, a type of elongated food-conducting cell in the stems of some mosses, such as the family Polytrichaceae. They surround strands of water-conducting hydroids. They have some, my writing isn't that good, structural and developmental similarities to the sieve elements of seedless vascular plants. At maturity, they have inclined end cell walls with small pores and degenerate nuclei, from Wikipedia. Then there's leptospirosis, an infection caused by a corkscrew-shaped bacteria called Leptospira, which gets really nasty. 90% of the people who get it get milder versions of it. And 10% move on to a second stage or just progresses from mild or without a sharp stage, and it gets really nasty, and at that point 10 to 50% die even with treatment. So basically you got this cosmically oriented society being run by a bunch of giant rabbits with inclined cell walls, small pores, and degenerate nuclei infecting the hell out of you with leptospirosis. That's all I got to say about it for the time being.